In the last section, we multiplied monomials, so now we're going to multiply polynomials, which is the same thing, just more. You know I always like to make things more. The most important part to remember when you're multiplying polynomials is you've got to multiply every part by every part. All right, that's all you got to remember. So here you go. What we're going to do is we're going to multiply first, we're going to multiply a monomial times a polynomial. So we're going to multiply this 2y. You've got to multiply it through by every part of the polynomial. All right? So 2y times 3y squared. And then to that, you're going to add 2y times 4y. And then you're going to add 2y times 1. Once you get your parts, now we're just going to multiply just like we did in the previous section. So the 2 times 3 is 6. Y to the first times y squared. You add the exponents, so this is y to the third. Move to this one. 2 times 4 is 8. Y times y, there are 2 of them, so y squared. And this 2y times 1 is just 2y. That's it. All right, so let's do one more of these. So if you think you got it, pause it and do it. Be careful to watch your negatives. Make sure to take your negative all the way through. So pause it and do it on your own. Did you do it? I hope so. All right, here we go. So don't lose your negative. You're going to multiply negative 7x squared times 5x squared. That's that one. And then zip, go to there. So to that, you're going to add negative 7x squared times 3x. And then this one. And you're going to add negative 7x squared times a negative 4. So watch your negatives. Make sure you keep your negatives with the term. So now combine them, multiply them together. Keep your terms separate and multiply those. So negative 7 times 5 is a negative 35. 2 and 2 is 4, so x to the 4th. And now you can put plus a negative, but I wouldn't. Let's just look. We're going to add, but these are going to be a negative times a positive, so this is going to be minus 21. Because the negative 7 times a positive 3 gives you a negative 21. And you've got 2 x's here and 1 more here, so x to the 3rd. And then a negative times a negative does give you a positive. 7 times 4 is 28. And x squared, and there is no other x, so x squared. All right? So if you need to practice a couple of those, go to your book and get a few to practice, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply binomials. The same thing applies. You've got to multiply every part by every part. But in this case, we've got 2 parts in our first, in the first number that we're multiplying. So we have, and you may have learned this already in Algebra 1. And if you have, then this will be a great reminder. And if you haven't, then you'll learn it. So there you go. We use what we call the FOIL method, and this is just a way to remember. It's just a mnemonic device. FOIL, F-O-I-L, stands for the first terms, outside terms, inside terms, last terms. So that's what we say we're multiplying by FOIL. And that just makes sure that you remember to multiply every part by every part. All right? So when we're multiplying binomials, we're going to start out by multiplying the first terms. So what that means is the first term of this binomial times the first term of this binomial. So these. So x times x is x squared. And then we're going to multiply the outside terms. So x times 3 is 3x. Then you're going to multiply your inside terms. So these are the 2 that are, of the 4, these are the 2 that are inside. So plus 4x. And then your last terms. So 4 times 3, so plus 12. And then if you'll notice, you've got 2 terms. Your outside terms and your inside terms will usually combine. So you've got a 3x and a 4x. So you're going to combine those because we're adding, be careful, we're adding now. So your variable has to be exactly the same. and then you just add your coefficients. So keep your x squared, and you've got 3 x's and 4 x's, so there's 7 x's. Did you see what I did there? Just add the 3 plus the 4 is 7x plus 12. All right, if you think you got it, pause and do this next one. You can do it. Do it on your own. Did you do it on your own? Here we go. See if you get the same answer as I do. First, outside, inside lasts. So first terms is the 3x times x, so 3x squared. Outside terms, 3x times 4. 3 times 4 is 12x. Inside terms, don't lose that negative. The negative goes with the 5. Negative 5 times x is a negative 5x. And then the last terms, don't forget it's a negative 5. Negative 5 times 4 is a negative 20. So don't lose that negative. If there's a negative in there, make sure you keep it with that term. So now these are both x terms, so combine them together. So 3x squared, 12 minus 5, is that 7? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yep, oh good. So 3x squared plus 7x, so because they're different signs, I subtract, the 12 is bigger, so it's positive, and don't lose your negative 20. All right, so far so good. Can I throw one more at you? Okay, make sure you got that one down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to multiply. We're going to go one step further and make it just a little bit more difficult, because you know I always like to make it hard on you. Don't get too lazy. Let's do one more. And this is going to be a binomial times a trinomial. All right. And what we're going to do to multiply these is exactly the same thing we did, except we can't use our cute little mnemonic device FOIL because there's more insides than just the one. But you're going to use exactly that same process. You're going to take the first term of your binomial and multiply it by everything in the trinomial. So x times a 3x squared is 3x cubed. Because you're adding, you've got one of them there and two of them there. All right, so when you multiply the variables, you add their exponents. So x times 3x squared is 3x cubed. Now the x times 5x is going to be plus 5x squared, because 5 times 1 is 5, and x times x is, there's two of them, so x squared. And then x times a negative 4 gives you negative 4x. So now you've multiplied the x by everything. Now you've got to multiply the 2 by everything in your trinomial. And what I do at this point, instead of stringing them out really long, I kind of stack them and match up my like terms as I go. So, it's kind of like multiplication. You stack up the like parts. So 2 times 3x squared, 2 times 3 is 6. 6x squared matches up with this x squared, so I'm going to say 6x squared. I'm going to put it right here. And then 2 times 5x. 2 times 5 is 10, and there's only one x, so plus 10x. And then 2, be careful because this is a negative 4. 2 times a negative 4 is negative 8. And so now your like terms are lined up, and you're simply going to add them together because you're combining like terms. So the 3x cubed is by itself. 11x squared, because we're going to combine 5 and 6. Negative 4 and positive 10 gives you positive 6x minus 8. All right? It's a lot. The most important thing, go back to multiply every part by every part. So as long as you've multiplied every part by every part, you're going to be fine. All right, see you soon.